Once upon a time, there was a man named Jack who lived in a bustling city surrounded by his friends and family. One day, Jack woke up to find that he was the last man on Earth. The world he once knew was gone, and in its place was an Arctic wasteland with no sign of life or food. At first, Jack was filled with despair. He wandered the frozen wasteland searching for any sign of life, but there was nothing. The silence was deafening, and the only sounds were the howling winds and the crunching of snow under his feet. Days turned into weeks, and Jack's survival instincts kicked in. He found an old, abandoned cabin and decided to make it his home. He started a fire and huddled close to it to keep warm. As the fire crackled and danced, Jack couldn't help but reflect on his existence. He thought about all the people he loved and all the things he had taken for granted. He thought about the world and how it had come to this. Days turned into weeks, and Jack realized that he was not alone. He had the fire, which provided warmth and light, and it was comforting. The fire became his companion, and he found solace in its warmth. Years passed, and Jack became content with his solitary existence. He spent his days hunting and fishing, and his nights by the fire, lost in thought. He had accepted his fate and had come to peace with it. One day, as he stared into the fire, Jack saw something that he never thought he would see again, a flicker of green. He quickly gathered his things and set out in the direction of the green, but after searching for days, he never found the source of the green. He was filled with disappointment, but he refused to give up hope. Jack continued to wander the wasteland, searching for any signs of life. He encountered many challenges along the way, but he never gave up. He was determined to find the source of the green and bring life back to the world. However, despite his best efforts, Jack never found the source of the green. He never came across a small, isolated forest, and he was never able to bring life back to the world. In the end, Jack realized that his existence was fleeting and that it was up to him to make the most of the time he had left. And so, he lived the rest of his days in peace, surrounded by the fire and his thoughts, content in knowing that he had tried his best. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider liking the video and subscribe to be notified of freshly baked, frightfully generic stories.